Okay, so now we're going to implement the throw mechanic. But before I do that, there is one issue we need to fix. So let's just take a look at a pickup to see. And we'll look in the left side in the scene view and see that what happens when the player picks it up. You'll see the feet going up into the air and then back down. So this player sort of floats up and then back down. So we need to fix that. So to fix that, we need to go into the animation, the picking up animation, and come into the animation tab. And by default, the bake into pose is not set for the root transform positions. So normally you want to put this in bake into pose and original so that it has the original rotation instead of body orientation, which is the default. You want original, and then bake into pose XZ original. But normally you wouldn't put the Y, but in this case, because it's floating up and down, we want to do bake into pose original for the Y position as well. So then all we do is click apply, and that should fix the issue. So now when we pick it up, it should not float up in the air. So yeah, there we go. The other issue is when we're walking around, pick up the ball, and then so we got the ball, and then as we're walking around, if you look down, the ball is not aligned with the hand. That's because of the state that we're in when we're walking. It's the run state by default, so we're actually running. So we can change that. So we could go into the animation section in the player and change the state, the start state, to walk, and that will fix the problem because it's the position of the ball is more for the walk state than for the run. So we can now we can pick it up. Now when we're walking around, it stays in the hand better because the hand position doesn't move as much from the idle when you're doing a walk versus a run. So that's one fix for that. But you're not going to often look down anyway. So when you're running, it'll make you out of alignment, but you're probably not going to notice it anyway. So with that, now we're going to see how we're going to set up a throw the object once we have it. Because right now, we can't do anything with it. It's just stuck in our hand, so we can't get rid of it. So we need to add the throw to it. Okay, so we can pick up an object and walk around with it. But we want to be able to get rid of it, so to throw it. So let's do that next. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpack the player prefab, just so I don't unpack completely, just so I don't update the one that comes with the examples. And then we're going to put it in the interactions. We'll create an empty child called throw, and then we can put our logic in here. So so what we want to be able to do is when I click the mouse, it'll throw whatever I'm carrying. So similar to how the game Schedule 1 does it, where you can go around picking up, you could pick up a basketball and throw it. So we're going to implement something similar to that. So we're going to need a trigger, and it's going to be an input trigger on input button, and we're going to set it to the mouse and a mouse press, left click, mouse press, and then we're going to check conditions. We're going to check if the player has a prop attached in the right hand. So if it does, then we can go through our throw instructions. So we're going to run the gesture. So we've got the throw animation here. So let's play the gesture. And we're going to give it the Ybot throw. And let me take a look at that actually. So we have scrub through it. It goes through the whole thing. Takes about 2 seconds, looks like. But maybe we don't want to wait the whole time. So what we want to do is only wait until the player actually throws it. So about 1 second when it's supposed to let go of the object. So let's wait 1 second and see. So we throw, wait 1 second. So then how do we get rid of it after the 1 second? There's a drop prop. There's two ways you can do it, but drop is what we want because there's a remove prop, but that just removes it. That just deletes it. We want it to drop, so it drops back into the scene. And it wants either a prefab or an instance. There's no other, and it needs the game object. So let's see. Last prop instance attached. I think that will work. So we drop it. So we dropped the last prop instance attached, and we need to reset the kinematic setting because it was set is kinematic equals false on the rigid body. Let's see. Last prop instance attached, I think. And turn off is kinematic. And then let's add an impulse. Add force 3D. And we're going to add impulse 10 to last prop instance attached. So let's just see. Direction, player rotation. Okay, so let's see if this works. Okay, let's see. And yes, actually it does work. So let's see, now did the sphere, rigid body, is kinematic is false again, so it is working. So let's do the other one. Where's the other one? Pick it up, and now we should be able to throw it. And it's thrown. Alright, so, and then the box, this box will check the rigid body, and yeah, is kinematic is turned off again. So that's good. But it seems to be working. So now, what we could do is there's this free asset pack called the free sports balls. So you could download this from the asset store. I'll leave a link down below. It gives you some free sports balls that you could use. So let's use one of those and see if we can uh, turn those into interactable like objects as well. So when you install it, it goes into the Saratasa folder and the models and sports balls. So you get a bunch of prefabs here. So if I want the basketball, let's bring in the basketball into the scene and see what it looks like. So there's the basketball. It does not have a rigid body, so we need to add one. And we're going to put some linear damping on that. And then one other thing these models have is they're marked as static. So if you have them marked as static, the physics won't work. So we need to uncheck that because they are not static. So because they're going to be moving around. And then we just need to add the trigger, the on interact trigger. On interact from the player. And we just run the action. And that would be in here, pickup action. All right. So let's see if we can throw this ball. There's the basketball. Let's see if it will kick. Yep. And then let's pick it up. And just like in the game Schedule 1, we can throw it. Now, it's not quite as bouncy as it is in Schedule 1, so we can fix that. So we can create a physics material. I'm going to put it in the materials. You can create a physics material using create physics material. I've got one called basketball here that I've already created. So you just tell it how much bounciness you want and friction. So I've just set it to the default, but bounciness of 1. The default is 0. So, and you can add that to the basketball. So let me put that on the basketball. That would be on the mesh collider. So we'll have the basketball on there. And we can also do one for the floor. So I had one that has the floor at 0.5 bounciness. So we can put that on this plane, which is the floor, and the material. Oh, I already have it on there. Okay. So let's see if that makes a difference. We pick it up. Yep. And yeah, so it's much more bouncy. Let's pick it up. And we can, okay, can make it more bouncier. All you have to do, you could make the floor, because the maximum is 0.5. What we can do is the bounce combine and make that maximum, and then you'll get more towards 1 bounciness, I think, when it hits the floor. And then it's more bouncy. So there we go. We have the ability to pick up and throw, although the ball, if the ball's in the middle of bouncing, it can still be picked up. So, and then it stops moving when you do it, you'll see that. But so maybe you don't want that much bounciness. You probably want it to stop bouncing after less amount of time. So I'll just put it back to average, and then we can So that's it then. So that's it for the throw mechanic. Next we're going to add a simple menu, pause menu, so that we can pause the game, and I want to add a menu where you can change the mouse sensitivity and invert the controls, because that's common in a first-person shooter. So stay tuned for that, and like, subscribe, comment down below, and we'll see you in the next one.